This is the moment that will be taught in every American classroom for the next 100 years. At 6:47 p.m. Eastern Time, the United States Senate voted 68-32 to convict Donald John Trump on both articles of impeachment and remove him from the presidency of the United States. Let that number settle in your mind. 68-32. 18 Republican senators, 18 stood up and voted with every Democrat to end the Trump presidency, with 690 days still left on the term the American people gave him in 2024. The Chief Justice has just finished reading the judgment. The words are still echoing in the chamber. Is found guilty as charged and is hereby removed from office. Donald Trump is no longer the president. Right now, as I speak to you, J.D. Vance is being sworn in on the Truman balcony by Justice Clarence Thomas. Marine One is warming up on the South Lawn to take Donald Trump away from the White House for the final time as anything other than a private citizen. And Donald Trump is absolutely furious. Sources inside Mar-a-Lago, where he flew immediately after the vote, say he is screaming at aides, hurling phones, insisting the vote is illegal, that the Senate has no authority, that he remains the legitimate president, and that the military will do the right thing. He has already posted in all caps, "Coup, rigged Senate. I am still your president. We will never surrender." That post has 78 million views in 41 minutes and counting. This is not exaggeration. This is not spin. This is the single most consequential political event any of us will ever witness in our lifetimes. So let me walk you through exactly how we got here, who the 18 Republicans were, why they did it, and what actually happens in the next 72 hours, because the country is now staring into a crisis we have never faced before. The breaking point was Venezuela. 6 months ago, against the direct advice of the Joint Chiefs, the Secretary of Defense, and every major ally, President Trump ordered a full-scale amphibious assault on Venezuelan soil without a declaration of war, without an authorization for use of military force, without even informing the Gang of Eight. The operation was sold to the public as a rapid decapitation strike to remove Maduro. It turned into a bloody 3-month quagmire, hundreds of American casualties, thousands of civilian deaths, oil facilities in flames, refugees pouring across the Colombian border. And every day, more leaked cables, more whistleblowers, more 4-star generals testifying under oath that Trump was explicitly told this was unconstitutional, that he laughed and said, "I am the Constitution now." That phrase, "I am the Constitution now," appears in 3 separate sworn testimonies. It became the rallying cry for impeachment. The House voted to impeach on February 12th, 221-214, with 7 Republicans joining every Democrat. Everyone assumed the Senate trial would follow the old script. Partisan trench warfare, acquittal on 51-49 or 50-50 lines. Trump declares victory and moves on. That script died 3 weeks ago. The turning point was Senator Tom Cotton, hardcore conservative, Army veteran, former Trump defender, taking the Senate floor on live television and saying, quote, "I took an oath to the Constitution of the United States, not to any one man. If we let this stand, we no longer have 3 co-equal branches. We have a monarchy in everything but name. I will not be part of that." When Tom Cotton turned, the dam cracked wide open. Within 48 hours, you had Mitch McConnell quietly retiring at the end of this term, signaling he would vote guilty. Then Lindsey Graham said on Fox News that the evidence is overwhelming and heartbreaking. By the time the final vote came, the list of Republican convicts read like a roll call of the old guard and the never-Trump remnant combined. Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, Tom Cotton, Mike Rounds, Shelley Moore, Capito, Bill Cassidy, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, Mitt Romney, Todd Young, Jerry Moran, Joni Ernst, Kevin Kramer, Dan Sullivan, Tom Tillis, Pat Toomey in his final act before retirement, Ben Sasse, same, and the absolute shock, Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio. 18 names, more than enough. When the clerk called Rubio's guilty, you could hear audible gasps on the Senate floor. And now we are here. Immediate consequences. Donald Trump is no longer president. Full stop. The 25th Amendment is not needed. Impeachment conviction removes automatically. J.D. Vance is the 48th president as of tonight. Tomorrow morning, the Senate will hold a simple majority vote on permanent disqualification from future federal office. Democrats have the votes with just 3 Republicans. It is expected to pass 53-47 or 54-46. If it does, Donald Trump can never run again. Ever. Every federal criminal case that was frozen by DOJ policy resumes immediately. Jack Smith has already filed notice that he will seek trial dates in both the January 6th case and the classified documents case before summer. The Republican Party has just detonated. You now have two Republican parties living in the same house. One that believes Donald Trump was the victim of the greatest political theft in history. The other that believes they just saved the republic from becoming a banana republic. Those two groups are not going to reconcile. They are going to try to annihilate each other in 2026 and 2028. And finally, the part that keeps every serious person in Washington awake tonight. What does Donald Trump do in the next 48 hours? He controls a private security apparatus larger than some NATO countries. He has tens of millions of supporters who believe he is still the rightful president. He has Truth Social, Newsmax, large chunks of AM talk radio, and a cult of personality that has never been rivaled in modern American life. If he calls for peaceful protests that stays peaceful, we get through this. If he uses language anything like January 6th again, we are in territory no democracy has ever survived intact. This is not drama. This is not hyperbole. We have just removed a sitting president against his will for the first time in 248 years. Everything that happens from this second forward will determine whether the American experiment ends in 2025 or endures for another 2 centuries. I will be here all night, all week, for as long as it takes. Drop your reaction below, and no emojis, no memes. Just tell me what you're feeling right now, because I guarantee you every single one of us is feeling it. This is Jessica Reports. We just watched history break in real time, and we are nowhere near the end of the story.